Hello, Trinity Western University Commuter. For the last 15 years, once a month, we've done something here called Good Morning Commuter. Through rain, sleet, snow, hail, we anticipate your coming, and this is how it starts. Wow, it's Good Morning Commuter. That makes my day. Good morning. Good morning, commuter. French vanilla cappuccino, hot chocolate, or coffee? Oh, thank you so much. You made my day. Hey, commuter, we miss you, and we really hope to see you soon at the next Good Morning Commuter. As Janice has said, my name is Glenn Hansen. I am one of the assistant directors of community life here at Trinity Western. I'm an assistant director of community life for graduate and commuter programs. And so it sounds like a big thing. It encompasses a lot of people. And I've been in this role for close to 20 years. I've graduated twice from Trinity, once with my bachelor's degree and then in 2013 with my master's degree. And as I was telling Raquel, I've since graduating, I've been taking Spanish classes, and so I continue to learn and be challenged. But the Spanish opens the door to a whole other group of students, and it's kind of fun to be yelling hola, hola across campus, to people, and yeah, it's wonderful. For the summer, I am part of the community life team, and we have, just wait, I need more coffee, bear with me. It's all better now. So over the summer, there's a variety, and I hear numbers of you have students on campus, and I suspect from them you will have heard what's been doing in support of them. So some of this may be you've heard before, but some of the things that are going on campus, my understanding is there's myself and then another 8 or 9 community life staff, mostly resident directors, and also working with global projects, are on campus and doing programming, and essentially as we're able to reach out and care for students. So Janice, have you shared with them about the grocery program and the
No.
rent subsidy?
No,
Okay.
please do.
So one of our longstanding colleagues is very well networked and has gathered together a pot of money, and out of which he has been able to dispense via a survey, needs assessed, to subsidize grocery purchases, to, in some cases, we'll go shopping and deliver groceries where people aren't able to travel around or get off campus, or are particularly concerned about using public transport. And he's also created a rent subsidy package where people can apply for that. Now it's not just dished out. It's not like our prime minister who every day writes a check for another billion, but it's needs assessed, and so that's happened. But probably more exciting is the fact that Alan Codenan is his name. He has, through his networks, he's created a whole bunch of job opportunities, and so is connecting students who need employment with employers who need workers. And I've actually just learned this morning that there are another 8 students that are going to be starting working here on campus because there's an insurance claim from a flood in the library, and there are going to be 8 students paid for by the insurance claim who will start June 1st, and they'll work through the summer. They'll start by taking books off shelves, but then over the summer they'll be doing a variety of jobs on grounds and painting and maintenance. But that's another 8 students, maybe some of your own children, I'm not sure, if they're on campus, who will have employment, which is a great opportunity. Last week, we started doing socially distanced pancake breakfast, which we're going to do every 2 weeks. And we're not just talking about flour and water here. We're talking about sourdough pancake mix fortified with hemp hearts, chia seeds, oats, flax, topped with mixed berries, whipped cream, and syrup. And in some cases, people come and pick them up, standing in, so, we got the X's on the floor, and then we have other staff that are delivering, to different rooms. So that's been a lot of fun. And because we did a survey of the students on campus to find out, because we didn't want to just sort of fire shots into the air, so we wanted to establish what it was that people were feeling, what it was that they were needing. And so we're trying to do our programming in response to that survey. And there is loneliness, there is isolation. That, I don't know about you, but this is my first pandemic. And these things are characteristic to a pandemic, as it would appear. And so we're doing all we can to reach out and get with people where it's possible. Okay, sorry, honey, I'm just on the phone, okay? I have a daughter with Down syndrome. Her name is Grace. She's 24, and she's been helping me. I'm here at work, actually. Other things, just anecdotally, I attended a wedding on the weekend of one of our commuter student couples. And there's a bunch of cars parked in a broad street in Morgan Creek, a local area. And the couple walked down the sidewalk. It was raining, so under umbrellas, and there was tooting of horns. And so that was, it just, I think it just showed the longing that people have to be in touch face to face. I got a text from one of my commuter students on Monday night. They said, hey, we're having a social distance picnic. Now, I don't even know if this is legal, but I grabbed a mat and went and found in a park near my house about 30 students, all on different mats, but it was pretty cool. So I guess what I want to do is assure you that for the students who are on campus, your own children, I'm the father of 5 myself, so I have 2 in New Zealand and 1 in Australia, so I'm used to Skype and WhatsApp and getting to know my grandchild that way. But so I feel your heart as a parent to know that your children are safe, cared for, and provided for. Should I ask if there's any questions at this juncture? Because I love the sound of my own voice, I can just keep talking. But maybe there are questions, because I want to talk further about our plans for the fall. But I'll stop and see if there's any questions. That was easy. Okay. Another thing that our team of 8 or 10 community life staff have been doing is being thrown in the deep end of a big program called Salesforce, which our admissions department uses. And we're using that to, we all have a list of students to reconnect with, because we want to, because connection is huge. We want to ensure them and answer their questions to make their way back to campus as easy as possible, as safe as possible, and as knowledgeable as possible. So we're committed to meeting or connecting with these students at least once a month for the remainder of the summer. So that's part of what we've been doing. But the whole of student life, and also, you will have received our president's update email about multi-access hub. Are there? Yes? Yeah. So the multi-access is a big part of our future. My understanding is that it always has been planned to be part of our future, that for the year or two, even prior to the pandemic, we were working on a multi-access hub. I work with grad students, and for Janice, did you do the MA lead? I can't hear you. You did.
I did, yes. From 2006 to 8, we were already online and in classroom. So,
right. So what we called mixed modal has been souped up, enhanced, made better, and so historically, many of our grad programs over the last 15 or 20 years have had a month of in-class, face-to-face teaching, and then the rest of their degree has been done online. And so mixed modal or multi-access is nothing new. However, now it's being perfected, streamlined, supercharged to be able to deliver classes that are not different students taking different classes, but students, all students, whether you're in Jamaica, China, or face-to-face, taking the same class, so that the transition is seamless. And this is to move us forward towards the future, but also planning for the fall, because we don't know what the fall is going to look like. We are anticipating having students on campus, but how many will be allowed, where they will be from is heretofore unknown. So we're planning for a variety of contingencies, and there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes doing that. And I am part of Student Life, and we are we are determining how to translate the culture and essence of the Trinity Western University community, which our students have come to love and grow in. How do we translate that into a multi-access mode? And we've just been having these Zoom meetings and talking about it. And the 4 pillars of student life are, and I'll read them from our spiritual formation, holistic wellness, global engagement, and servant leadership. So we are tasked with translating those values, those core heartfelt values and things of import to an online mode. And so that means our chapel programs, podcasts, D groups, wellness services, even recreation, culture clubs, and leadership opportunities are going to be moved to be accessible online. So I have, in my role, I offer student leadership roles, which are stipended roles. There's a monetary amount attached to each leadership role. I have 30 of those. I'll have 30 student leaders this fall. And so what's that going to look like? My hope is that in the collegium, how many of you have been on campus and been to a collegium? You can actually go on here and down to reactions and go like this. You see that? You can put your thumbs up. You can even clap. So who knew? But anyway, our collegiums are spaces, venues where we meet face-to-face, heart-to-heart, where people grow in friendship, where people are challenged to grow in their faith, in their studies. And in the collegiums, members are assigned. There's probably, of our 2,000 undergrad commuters and then all the grad commuters, there are probably 700 people that frequent collegiums. There are 3 on campus. And my leaders are hosts in those environments to welcome, to be a resource, to be a kind, smiling face, someone to greet your students personally, to make them feel at home, to help them to know that they have a place to belong and a place to matter if they're commuters. So my leaders are going to be engaged, hopefully, in welcoming students in the physical face-to-face realm, but also they'll be leading groups which will be assigned to them via geography and area of study, and they'll be taking those groups online. Like this might be a group here. How many? 3, 6, 9, 12. This is about it. We've thought about 15 to 20. So one of my student leaders would be hosting this event and taking students through a curriculum and engaging, reaching out. Also, our student leaders are going to be resource people. They will be able to put people in touch with financial services, learning coaches. And I know that, who was just on here from the Learning Center? Janice. Okay, we can't hear you, but it's okay.
Well, sorry, I was muted. That was Jen Skelding.
Yeah, Jen Skelding. Yeah. So our student leaders are also going to be via virtual reality or the internet, are going to be able to actually invite someone along to a Bible study group. It's going to be very, very cool. So we are anticipating a deeper, más profundo for Raquel, a deeper reach into the lives of people who may have been a little bit more isolated just by virtue of who they are. So I've talked for a long time now. Surely there must be questions.
Anyone have any questions for Glenn before we sign off and then head to our next part? Glenn, this has been very helpful. Like for parents to have a window into not just the resident life on campus, but our commuter life and how we're moving forward. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, but there's no doubt about it. It's to encourage people to embrace Trinity community who have experienced it. That's a no-brainer. It keeps people, it's the essence of life is relationship. And our great challenge is our incoming class. Someone mentioned they have a son or a daughter that's coming. Janet Andrews from Quesnel. Did you say you have a son here now and a daughter coming, or vice versa?
Elizabeth.
I think it was me.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right. But anyway, how are we going to get our incoming students who have not yet tasted and seen that Trinity is good? I don't think the Apostle Paul would mind me sort of choosing that one. But so it may be that, and that's why the multi-access is so cool, because say that a student has to begin online through September, but by November, things have changed and people can access campus. They can just come into class. They can just, it's seamless. So you could actually go to class, do a class on Monday online, and walk into a classroom on Wednesday to the same classroom. So it's very cool. So there's lots going on.
Well, I'm thrilled to have you here. Yep, Suzanne.
Can I ask a question?
Wagwan.
Not bad.
Nice.
Clearly, you've been talking to some Jamaicans.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, what do you say? What's your response? When I say wagwan, what is your response? What is it?
Everything cool, man.
Yeah.
We're creative. We make it up as we go along.
Oh, good.
It's more the vibe than the actual word.
Okay.
That's it.
I love that.
All right.
I do have a question. When a student transitions from online, say if they're far away and they then come to campus and they're going to be live, will there be duality allowed?
Yes.
Such that they can choose one day to be online and one day to be live, even if they're physically present on campus?
That is my understanding.
My understanding too, like a fluidity.
Yeah, because say your son or daughter arrives and they have to be quarantined for 2 weeks, right? On campus or wherever, they'll still be able to do class. Yeah, and I know with different time zones and whatnot, that's all being taken into consideration. And I saw online an example of a human kinetics lab being taught on, like, how to tape an ankle, you know. So like we have Colin, and what's the other guy? We've got some really top-notch specialists working in this. They've been here for a year or two, and before this, we didn't even know their names. Now they're like, you know, assistant saviors, because their giftings and expertise, you know, they like PhDs in this stuff are creating our platform.
Mm.
Any other questions?
I just want to say that I hate it all because I'm a paper and pencil type of gal.
Yeah.
But I do know that God is using crisis to nudge us all out of our comfort zone. Mm-hmm. And he is creating skills in our kids and even in us and in professors to do things in creative new ways. So we hate it. Well, most of us hate it. But we see that God is using it for good. And that's super awesome. So I think at the other end of this, we'll be delighted, having been forced, but
yeah,
not
and
easy.
Thank you, Suzanne. We recognize that our world, our campus, is skewed to the favor of the extrovert. And that's why in the people that I offer roles to, I have extroverts, but I also have introverts, because we need someone to think before they open their mouths. And, all the extroverts laughed.
Oh.
But what I'm looking forward to is, because there are 2,000 commuters, and some of them do their degree, car, class, and back to their car, and then go off to their part-time job or their community commitment or their family commitment. So we endeavor to reach out to as many as we can, but I am looking forward to this because I talked to Dr. Angie Mays. She's one of the faculty in the MA lead, who's been doing this online for 15 years. And her observation is that people online, some people feel a lot more comfortable engaging online in this format. And to me, that's exciting, because there are more people, more students, and more conversations that are initiated. And conversations are how we help each other get through life. Yes, we drop off baking. Yes, but we are exhorted to encourage one another. And as I look at your faces, I know that you're all old enough to know that, well, maybe Jonathan, you're not, but that we can't get through life alone, that mm-hmm. life is difficult, mm-hmm. and we need each other. And so any platform or technology that gives us access to the other, God's going to use it. I agree.
Yeah.
If I keep going, I'll take up an offering, Jan.
Yeah, well, let's just stop you there, because I mean, hey, I'll take up an offering anytime, but
okay.
But I want to thank you.
So that's me.
I just want to stop there, Glenn, because real quickly, I've known you since I was probably about 15. I remember coming out to Trinity for my sister's graduation in 1985. I had 2 sisters graduate that year, and they were so enamored with you and your wife, and I became a fan right away. You have blessed this campus for so many years. Between your time in New Zealand and then coming back to Trinity, we have been very grateful for all that you've done for this university. So thank you for being part of our call today.
It's good, and thank you, Janice. And well, God bless everybody, and we'll see you face to face one day. Absolutely.
Amen.
Okay.
Amen. Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you, Glenn.
Bye for now.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks. That
So
was
we're gonna
really good. Thank you, Glenn.
we're gonna transition now to a time of prayer. So for some of you, if this is your first time coming, we've tried to have somebody from campus give an update, and then we've tried to have